Everything that you're going to hear in this video is a lie. When I turn on these lights, you are not to believe a single word I say. My name is Marshall Benjamin Gardner. I was born on the 3rd of March in 1991. I was born and raised in Iowa, and not really much to say, really. One of the big things that I remember growing up was I would always cheer for the Hawkeyes. My dad liked Kansas City more, or I don't remember, but I remember that I would always chant Iowa's team name whenever they were on TV, because as a kid, you kind of just find one thing that you really like, and you just stick onto it and make it your own thing. But it was the Iowa Hawkeyes, and I remember this because when I was a kid, growing up, I would chant their name whenever they're on TV because I thought it was really fun to say. Iowa Hawkeyes, Iowa Hawkeyes, and then as it would go on, I would go faster. Iowa Hawkeyes, Iowa Hawkeyes, Iowa Hawkeyes, Iowa Hawkeyes. That was kind of closer to what it sounded like. What I remember that my favorite player on the Hawkeyes in 1990 something, I think 1996, 5 something, 1999 is when I really got into it. My favorite player was Scott Mullen. I don't remember his records because they probably would have changed by now, but they were pretty good back then. The quarterback, not the baseball player. He was all right too. I guess I don't know. I wasn't always never really into baseball. I don't know. It just didn't interest me as much. But when I was 16, we went to visit my uncle in North Dakota, and I think he was on my brother's side. I mean, my brother. He was on my father's side, my father's brother. His kids, my uncle's kids, my cousins, they didn't. By the time that I was as old as I was, they were already kind of my age now. They were already much older than me. They had moved away. I think one of them already had a kid. Yeah. I don't know, but I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. But my uncle, because he had this tire swing in his backyard, where the kids used to play on, and my cousins used to play on it. I don't remember what else they had, but I remember that I remember the swing because when we went to go visit them, I think it was for Thanksgiving or 4th of July or something. But yeah, we went up to go visit him, and my dad and my uncle were at the grill. They were doing their thing, just at the grill, a couple beers, talking, chit chat, and then I don't remember what my mom or my sister was doing, but they were inside. I think my auntie was at work or something. But I remember that I took the tire swing, and you see, cause the way that my uncle's house was there was like the first floor, you have your patio. It was like, concrete. That's where they had the grill and like, all the chairs. That's where they kept their cooler. And then there was a second floor. Like if you went past the patio and you turn the stairs would be like right there, and and then there would be the second floor, the balcony thingy that was up here, and made out of wood. It was pretty neat. Um, they did put a lot of their stuff underneath the stairs. Um, some real Harry Potter type stuff. Um, but yeah, I took the tire swing, and because I figured out that it was long enough to do what I wanted to do with it. I took the tire swing and I, just brought it up to the second floor patio balcony thingy or whatever. And I figured, well, if I keep one leg in and I just hold on, then maybe I could get a really big swing and it would be really cool. And nobody was gonna stop me because I don't really talk that much when I'm around family and all, that sort of stuff. I kind of keep to myself, do my own thing, especially when I was a kid. Like at school, I didn't really talk to anybody when I was at school. Not really shy, but I just didn't really, seek out interaction. But anyway, I took the tire swing. I put one leg in, I pushed off with the other, and I was like, woo! And it went really smoothly. On the way up, it was like, wee! Is basically what happened. So, what happened was, on the way up, it was okay because I was leaning forward, but then on the way back, I'm kind of like this, and I'm way back because I'm leaning, so I get more momentum on the way down. Simple momentum physics, whatever. But then I guess I leaned back too much because when you're swinging, you kind of want to stay like this is your pivot point, right? This is yours. You kind of want to keep the line straight when you go, like that, right? Look like lightsabers. But I curved back too much, so it was like this. If this was me and this is the line, it was like that. You usually want to keep it like this, but it was like that. So I sort of just slammed my back, just like right into the dirt. I remember that I hit the ground and I started tumbling. The swing kept going, and I ended up on my front like ah, or appropriate voice of the time like ah. Yeah. Ah! And then my dad and my uncle, they look over from their drinks. They're like, they were laughing, all that. And my mom, my sister, they come out. They're like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I was like, "No," because I got winded and freaking. To make it worse, like, well, I was like this, on all fours, like, the tire came down and it slammed me right in the ass. So I just got hit with a double whammy. I was winded and I was embarrassed. Basically. Oh. Yeah. I was dumb. I was really dumb at that time. I think when I was younger as a kid, I used to go outside of, there used to be this skate park, quite a distance from where we lived, and, I didn't have a skateboard, at the time, but my friends did, So what would happen was I would go with them, and I would just run. Because I think I did this when I was 8 or 10. We would go over to the skate park and we would jump and then. Well, of course, my friends had their skateboards and I enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't a big thing to get a skateboard, but my mom didn't want me on them because dumb. So yeah, my mom didn't want me on those. Yeah, I was a dumb kid. But but I'm 29 now. I'm 29, almost pushing 30 next year. Um, I'm unemployed because of COVID-19. The coronavirus outside, and it's actually kind of funny. I lost my job on my birthday because the COVID-19 sort of hit Iowa, in March. I remember this clear as day because I remember that my boss, she came up to me and she said, "Happy birthday, you're fucked." But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like that. She didn't do it like that, but it's what it sounded like to me. She wasn't even rude. She was just like, she says to me, "Look, Marshall, we'd love to have you around, but because of the current situation right now, you're kind of a liability. You're the least qualified person here. We hate to do this, but we're gonna have to let you go." And by the way, can I just say that I don't like when someone's firing you and they act like it's out of their hands, especially when they're top management. Because I remember I had this job. Uh, I I don't remember, but I remember that I had this job as a kid, and or when I was younger. Yeah, when I was 17, I had this job. I think it was at a movie theater. Yeah, no, it was at a movie theater, and I would, sweep around and stuff. But I remember that my boss, he tried to fire me, but he was, the top guy. I think he was the owner. It was like a local theater. But he said to me, "Yeah, we're gonna have to let you go." And I said to him, "But wait, you're the only guy here." And that's why I got fired. Excuse me, I had a couple beers before I got here. Uh, Speaking of bad habits and beer, I've been smoking since I was 14. Of course, when I was 14, it wasn't that bad. I wasn't stealing from anybody. It was like, because I used to find, oh god, this is gross, but I used to find cigs that are just like, almost full size, half size, just on the ground, and I would pick them up. I found a lighter and just, man, I wasn't a bad kid by any means. I was just bored. But yeah, got way worse when I got put into the military. Yeah, my dad didn't want me doing nothing out of college. I mean, out of high school. Yeah, when I was a kid, I wanted to go to college, but I really did. But as soon as the time came where I could go to college, God pretty much said, to quote the great Rosa Parks, "Nah, fam, it just wasn't gonna happen. It was whatever, But my dad wanted me to do something right out of high school, so he told me, well, if you can't get into college, then you're gonna have to go into the military, boy. Because he wanted something more than a high school diploma out of me. But, yeah. So he thought that military service would give me experience, and it did, but, yeah. Really fucked me up, though. I started chain smoking in the military because it's fucking sucked. And you know what? When my dad made me sign up, and when I signed up, I only signed up for 2 years, but yes, they had me for fucking 6. Yeah, it was horrible. And the reason why I keep saying that is, so horrible is because I was in Fort Polk. Stationed in Fort Polk. I was supposed to go into Iraq for a couple years, but they needed me in Fort Polk because I was a small arms repairman. And I was really good at it. They didn't want to send me off anywhere, because if I died, I was just irreplaceable. I think I was the only one that, did that. But, yeah, and, let me just say, let me just say that my favorite MRE was really weird. I really like the spicy jalapeno cheese. Not really MRE in itself. It wasn't really MRE in and of itself. It was more like a component, like a condiment. And I used to really like it because, I like spicy food. And, it was like the perfect blend of spice and, like, not. And, it wasn't really popular with anybody else. Like, nobody else really liked it. And that's a good lesson about life, when you like something that mostly everybody doesn't like, then you pretty much just get free food. But, yeah. Fucking hated the military. Fucking hated it. But, I don't know what else to talk about. My parents are Republican, but they aren't really, the sort of Republican that you see in the news or whatever. Because my mom was biracial. She was a mix between white and Native American. Although nobody really teased me for it, because it didn't really show up too much. It's not like I, went to school, feather on my hat, fucking war paint or whatever. She didn't really practice the Native American kind of stuff, night wolves, wendigos, and all that. She didn't really teach us that. We were raised white. I'm a Catholic, or no, I'm a Christian, or my parents tried to raise me Catholic, but, not my parents, my grandparents tried to raise me Catholic, but my parents, my dad specifically, he converted to Protestants when he was younger. He was younger, because I don't really remember the details, but my dad used to tell me something about, he just didn't quite believe all the things in the Catholic faith, but he still believed in God, so he tried to look for a different form of Christianity, and that was it. My mom was, what was she? I think my mom was Protestant all the way, because her parents didn't really like, um, didn't really like the Navajo beliefs or whatever. I don't know if they're called Navajo, but because she didn't really know. She was born and raised Protestant. But although, like, I still believe in God, but because of the military and all that, I think at some point, if you're not completely engrossed into it, that, you just sort of lose your faith after a certain amount of time. I still believe that God exists, though. It's just, I don't know, I don't think he really does anything, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think he answers prayers anymore. Or at the very least, I think that he might have existed at some point, but he would have to have let us go. And I developed that when I was in the military, because one of my guys, or we were out range or whatever, we were out target practice, whatnot, and you see there's this protocol that when you're leaving, or at some point, we call it clearing. It's when you take your magazine out of the gun and you shoot it once at the ground to get the bullet out of the chamber. But we didn't. It doesn't get around to everybody. Okay, that information isn't privy to everybody. Not everybody catches on. And one of the privates, or was he a private? I don't remember. One of the soldiers, while we were marching information, for one reason or another, the gun slipped out of his hand, and it hit the ground on a rock, and one reason or another, maybe the trigger got pulled from the recoil or something or other. I don't know. I was in the front. All I heard was bang! Oh, fuck! That's all I heard. Private Johnson's down! Fuck! Straight to the head. And I think that if God were still around, he wouldn't let that happen. I didn't know the guy, but yeah. Dead. On accident. Complete accident, even. I thought it was terrible. And I remember when I was in school, when I was 17 and had my first job at the theater, I had this girlfriend, my first one. Never really one to have crushes. I thought it was weird. But when I was 17, I had this girlfriend, and looking back on it, she was horrible. Like, she used to take my money, and I would be alright with it. She used to shit talk my mom, and yeah, I kind of pass it off as, hey, whatever, man, like, as long as my mom doesn't hear about it, that's okay. She used to fucking hate my sister. She hated my friends, whatever small amount of friends I had. She would just hate on them constantly. Like, oh, your friend Peter, he's a real bitch. He's a real son of a bitch, you know that? I mean, you can hang out with him if you want, but, you're hanging out with a son of a bitch. And I don't know, at the time it bummed me out, but I was like, yeah, Peter was kind of annoying. I don't know what happened to Peter. After high school, he sort of went and did his thing. I don't keep up with many friends from high school, because, they all sort of just went and did their own thing. I think one of my old classmates is in politics now. But I'm not really sure. I don't live in Iowa anymore. My parents moved to South Dakota because my grandfather on my dad's side was dying, and we moved in. Um, we still go to the Iowa house in the summers, or at least I think we would have. My sister lives in the Iowa house because she still lives in Iowa. But I live in South Dakota. I thought it was really cool because the entire family was kind of northern. I think I got cousins up in Canada, and I don't know this for sure, but I was told that there might be a couple cousins, down south in L.A. and Texas and whatnot, but I'm not really sure. I know for sure that um, one of my company mates in the military, he moved up to New York, and he died. Not recently, but kind of early on. I think January, December, maybe. No, February. Yeah, February. He died in February due to the plague, coronavirus, COVID-19, all that. I hear that I hear they made a cure, some sort of vaccine or whatever, extremely experimental, but I sure hope it works. I need a job. I want to get out of this house, but um, I'm not too hot into gaming, or at least I don't play too much. At least not now, because I'm helping out a lot, but um, I remember that when I was younger, I really enjoyed playing on the original Xbox. I remember playing GTA San Andreas a lot, but I didn't really follow the missions all too well because I was really young. I was like 9 or something, and my parents were all right with that because they cussed a lot, and they already knew that I was kind of fucked up, so they just let me do that. But yeah, it was fun, but I don't really remember much. Um, I remember that when I was in middle school, I used to try skipping school a lot. Um, I didn't really have anything to do. I just sort of hung out, you know. Not with anybody. I remember that there was this one tree that I used to go to, and like, it may sound like cliche, like a movie type bullshit, but I really would read a book. I read a lot of books as a kid. Um, I would say that I would have wasted my time if I were to just go out, do all the things that all the other kids were doing when they were all, skipping. Um, I and you know what? It wasn't very easy because I don't remember if I said earlier, but yeah, I didn't really talk that much around people that I didn't know. But even then, when I was around people that I liked, didn't really talk all too much. I would say the one thing here and there, but yeah, I was kind of a shutout for a lot of my life until I went into the military, and they kind of brought me out. brought me out of my shell just a little bit, but yeah. I need to smoke. I'm out. I think that's good enough.